Yes, students, we are doing in continuation only current electricity, and today our topic is we have to discuss on Kirchhoff laws. So before we go into the detail, should be knowing who was Kirchhoff. So German physicist. He simply extended Ohm's law for the complicated circuits, just to make the things easy for you to work out. Before going into more detail with the things, you should be aware of these terms which we will be using in this explanation hours. That is, of course, one is electric network. Electric network means we are talking about the complicated system of electrical conductors, like we are having these resistances and battery or the things like means which allow the electric current to flow. So this can be termed as an electric network. So there can be more number of resistances or the things with you. Next with you is junction. Junction is any point here from where you can see two or more conductors are joined. So here in this circuit which I have kept in front of you, I am having four junctions with me. One is this. Here this battery and this resistance, they are being connected. Second is this, where the R1 and this battery of 45 volt is connected. Next is this third junction, where these two resistances are connected. And then the fourth junction with you, where these resistances R3 and R4 are connected. So it means there can be minimum two or there can be more than two conductors. So that particular point I will be calling it as a junction or node also. In some books they are calling it node also. Next with you is loop. Loop is the closed conducting path in the electric network. So this complete, if I join these all the junctions 1, 2, 3, 4, then this is a loop which is formed, or we may call it as mesh also. Next is branch. Branch means any part of the electric network which lies between two junctions. So it means between two junctions, like 2 and 3 are, these are two junctions. So this is your branch. So I may call it, I may give it some naming just to understand it. I may call it as AB. So AB is the branch of this network. This is complete network is there, electric network, and this will be a branch AB. And simply if I call it as C, then BC is also a branch. So there are many branches in the electric network. So just for understanding the circuits, these definitions should be clear to you. These are simple terms which we will be using for explaining the Kirchhoff laws with. So to begin with, first which is known as Kirchhoff current law also. So in brief we may call it as KCL. KCL means Kirchhoff current law, or we may call it as the junction rule. So because we are talking about a junction in this case, like here O is a junction where all these currents are coming or leaving. So this is O point is a junction where two or more conductors are joined. So what the law says first law, that is the algebraic sum of the electric currents at a junction in any electrical network is always 0. It means if I add all the currents, then summation of the current will be equals to 0. Now for this we have to use some sign convention. Like if the current is entering this junction, or then it is taken as positive. If it is leaving the junction, then it is taken as negative. So here with the green lines, I1 and I4, they are entering the junction. So they both are taken as positive, while I2, I3 and I5, they are leaving the junction. They are moving away. Current is going out. So this is taken as negative. So sum of all the currents at a junction, that is equals to 0. So it means I may say another way of writing the first law is that sum of incoming currents, it is equals to sum of outgoing currents. So this is your first law. And of course you can write the sign conventions just to remember the things, that incoming currents towards the junction are taken as positive, and the outgoing currents from the junction, they are taken as negative. And this is actually based on the law of conservation of charge. So because the charges, they cannot accumulate at a junction, they will always, whatever number of charges are reaching at a point, that must be leaving by the law of conservation of charge. So that point is being used here in giving you first law by the Kirchhoff. So this is simply based on the law of conservation of charge. It means whatever number of charges are arriving at a junction in a given time, the same number of charge must be leaving in the same time, and that is your conservation of charge, which we have discussed in the chapter of electrostatics. And of course, you should be aware of that this rule is valid for both for the open circuit and the closed circuit. Open circuit like this, we are showing that no corners, they are joined, junctions are not joined. If I join all the junctions, there can be more junctions drawn, and then only it will be forming a closed circuit. Like the previous circuit diagram was a closed circuit. And this is simply, I am showing you one junction, one point of the circuit that can be taken as an open circuit with you. Just to make more clear this first law, you can see the diagram. I have made certain resistances R1, R2, R3, but not values are given. But here the value of current which is entering here is given because it is coming in. I can make the junctions here X, Y, Q and P. These are the junctions where two or more conductors are joined. So here if you see at point X, then you see 15 ampere current is entering and 8 ampere current is leaving. So what is the value of this current I2? So you can find simply by, because at this junction, X junction, amount of current entering should be equals to the amount of current leaving the junction. So leaving are I2 plus 8 and entering is 15. So you can write 15 ampere equals to I2 plus 8 ampere. So you can calculate I2. So the question was simply to find the different currents like I1, I2, I3, I4, which are marked in the different parts. If you see the at junction Y, then this current I2 is entering, 3 ampere is again entering, and I3 is leaving. So sum of the currents entering the junction should be equal to the current sum of the currents leaving the junction. So entering the junctions are I2 plus 3 and leaving the junctions is I3. So you can equate this I2 plus 3a, it is equals to I3. It means you can write I3, it is equals to, that is of course by adding the 2, it means 7 plus 3, that is equals to 10 ampere. Similarly, if you want to find I3 and I4, you can frame the equations. Like here at this junction, P junction, you can see 8 ampere is entering, I5 which is equals to 2 ampere is leaving, and I4 is also leaving. So 8, it is equals to I4 plus I5. So you can find I4 from here, that is equals to 8 minus I5. I5 is given 2 ampere, so you can get it equals to 6 ampere. Similarly, here at junction Q, if you see I4 is entering, I1 is leaving, and what about I3? I3 is also entering the junction. So I3 plus I4, it is equals to I1. So this you have to understand how to write the currents which are at a junction entering or leaving, and then simply equate them to apply the first law, and then you can find I1 also from here, that is equals to I3 plus I4. I know the value of I3, I know the value of I4, so I can calculate I1 also. So you have to see which part is the simpler one. You cannot find directly I1 first. So for finding I1, you should be firstly finding I2 and then I3 and then I4, and then only you can find I1. So you have to decide from where you have to begin with the things. So I think this was a very simple question just to make you the thing. So you should not be afraid of the diagrams given. Is just start working out with the things and then you will get the results. Of course, you can try more questions. Let us go to the second law, which is Kirchhoff's second law, which is the voltage law, or that is why you can write it as Kirchhoff voltage law, KVL, or I may call it as loop rule, because the second law is applied only to the closed circuits. So it states that in closed electrical circuit, the algebraic sum of EMFs of the cells is equal to the algebraic sum of the potential drop across the resistances. It means summation of EMF, it is equal to summation of IR. Or another way of saying is that the algebraic sum of all the potential drops and EMFs along the closed circuit in an electrical network is always 0. That is summation V, it is equals to 0. Now you can either follow this way or you can follow this way. We are going to follow by the second method, summation V equals to 0. And of course this is based on the conservation of energy. That can be asked that on what law it is based. So it is based on conservation of energy, because we are using the electrostatic forces here in the circuit, which is a conservative force, and work done will be always 0 in any closed path. So delta V, which is given by W equals to work done. Work done, you know, that is equals to V upon Q. So delta V is equals to 0, because delta W is equals to 0. Sum of the work done is 0. So you can see summation of V is 0. So this law is valid only for closed circuits. You have to remember this. This is just to understand the sign conventions. For the second law, very important, these sign conventions are. So if in the circuit when I am moving from A to B, supposingly I have marked it A and then B, then here you can see that positive is here, negative is here of the circuit battery, then current is flowing. That is, of course, we talk about the conventional current, that is always flowing from positive to negative. And if we talk about the potential difference, then here VA minus this IR will be equals to VB. So potential is getting decreased when I am reaching at point B. Potential is higher here. That is why current is flowing in this direction from A to B. For such thing, because potential drop is there, so you will be writing V equals to minus of IR. And if it is otherwise, if it means you are moving from B to A in the circuit, but current is flowing, of course, this way, then it will be taken with the positive sign. So for your remembering, you can simply keep one thing in your mind. So another will be reverse of that and then can be applied. Similarly, if you see here for this part, that when you are moving from A to B across the battery, this is positive side and this is negative. Positive is coming first to you. Then VA minus E, it is equals to VB. So it means again from A to B, potential drop is there. So V will be equals to negative. So V will be equals to minus of EMF. And if you move otherwise opposite, it means negative is coming first, then it will be equals to positive. Similarly, even can be seen for the capacitors if you are doing, because we have discussed with the capacitors also in electrostatics. So VA minus Q upon C, it is equals to VB. So if we are moving from positive to negative plate, then potential drop is there. Then again your delta V will be equals to minus of Q upon C. And if you are moving otherwise, then it will be taken as positive. So this is by the sign convention you should be knowing that you are able to work out the question. And to remember, if you want to write the things, then you can say EMF is taken negative when we traverse from positive to negative terminal through the electrolyte, and of course positive when you go from negative to positive. And potential fall, if we are talking about along the direction of current, then the potential fall is taken negative and potential rise is taken as positive. So these things you can see, but whenever we have to work out with the questions or numericals, you should keep it in mind that we can move either in the clockwise direction or in the anti-clockwise direction of the loop. That is totally our choice. So no compulsion on you. So everybody will be able to get results same, but framing the equations will be different. So if I am giving you this simple circuit with you, that you have to write the equation by using the Kirchhoff's second law. If I am saying I am moving from A, B, C, then back to A, then it is a loop. First loop which I am forming is A, B, C, A. And I am moving in the clockwise direction like this, in the direction of the clock, hands of the clock. But now if you see, the direction of the currents are given like this, I1. So you have to see that the direction of the current is opposite to whatever I have supposed the movement. My movement is from A to B and then C and then back to A. A, B, C, A. That is clockwise. And same way you will be writing whatever you are supposing. If you want to take it anti-clockwise, then you will be writing A, C, B. That is your choice. But I am taking clockwise. So one thing you set in your mind for doing the practice, and that thing, same thing will be used always, if then you will be able to work out the questions very comfortably. That you have to keep in mind, that if you are supposing clockwise, then let it be clockwise always, so there will not be any confusion. And if you start doing with the anti-clockwise, then let it be always anti-clockwise loop, and then again results both the ways you will be getting the same. So now if I am moving from here, it means current is moving in this direction, but I am moving in this direction. So I am getting minus of E1 and then plus IR1. Then here also I am moving in this direction, but current is in this direction. So again plus I1 plus I2 into R2, because here the current is I1 plus I2, it is given. Similarly, if you apply for this loop A, C, D, A, then again I am moving in this direction of the current and means clockwise. Again direction of the current is also clockwise. So you can write the equation here. Now I am moving in this direction. Current is also in the same direction. So negative sign, negative of I1 plus I2 into R2. Here again negative sign, minus of I2 R3. Here negative is coming first, so it will be positive sign, so plus of E2. So this way you can always frame the equations using the loop rule, or you may say Kirchhoff voltage law, and then these equations you should firstly know how to write the equation. That is very, very important, and then only you will be able to work out the numericals. Like first numerical I have taken is the quite easy one. You have to find the electric current that flows in the circuit as shown in the figure below. So this is the diagram given to you. Circuit is given, and for solving it, if the values are also written for the EMF 20 volt, then resistances are also written, and you have to simply find the current. So we are supposing, let the direction of the current is in the clockwise direction. We are supposing it because we are not aware of the thing. So let us suppose here I can mark the direction, that is equals to I. So now the thing is, you can write the equation by using Kirchhoff loop law. So you are moving in this direction. So positive is coming first. So you will be getting it minus of E1 means 20 volt. Then minus of 5 I, if I is the current, and again minus of 5I. Then here you are getting again positive first. So minus of 12 volt and then again minus of 10I equals to 0. So if you write the equation, so you will be able to get on solving by simply adding 20 and 12, both are with negative sign, you are getting minus of 32. minus 20I, that is equals to 0. So you are getting I equals to minus of 32 divided by 20. It means I, you are getting negative sign 1.6 ampere. So because I am getting negative sign with the current, it means whatever was my supposition this way was wrong. Rather, the current is flowing in this direction. So it means you don't need to think whether I am thinking correct or wrong. Direction will always be indicated by the answer. So because electric current we are getting negative, it means direction of electric current is opposite to the clockwise direction. So firstly we suppose some direction of current and frame the equation with that direction, and then we can come up with the result, whatever will be the true result with us. So this was a very simple question, so that you understand the concept first. Similarly, one more easy question with you, that is resistances are given R1, R2, R3 equals to 2 ohm, 4 ohm and 6 ohm, and you find the electric current that flows in the circuit below. So again we are supposing that let the current is same direction, it means clockwise direction only. So what it is, that the direction I am taking it clockwise, and now if you see, you can write the equation. It means minus of I R1, if I am taking I is the current, plus, because negative sign is coming first now, so it will be positive sign, plus E1 minus of IR2 minus of IR3, and here you put the values, you are getting 12 minus of 12I equals to minus of 6. It means you are getting current equals to minus 6 upon minus 12, which is coming out to be 0.5 ampere. Now it is coming with the positive sign. Positive sign, it means whatever I suppose to the direction, the same is my result. So electric current positive means direction of the electric current is same as the direction of clockwise rotation. So if I would have got the negative answer, then it means it would be opposite to that direction. So this is, you need to understand the things. And about this one question, on the basis of both the laws, Kirchhoff laws, most of the times you get the question like this in the board exam. Like using Kirchhoff rule in the electric network shown in the figure, you have to calculate I1, I2 and I3. And here I have marked I1, I2 and I3 for you people, but in the exam they may not give you. Then you will be supposing yourself whatever you want to suppose. I have marked here I1, I2 here and I3. And I have marked the junctions also, that is A, B, C, D, E and F. These are the junctions where two or more conductors are meeting. Now what it is, because I want to find three currents, so three equations have to be there. It is totally your choice. If you don't want to apply the current law, then you can make three loops by using simply second law, that is A, B, E, F, A, one loop, then this B, C, D, E, B, second loop, and then you can take the bigger loop, that is A, C, D, F, A, and then you can make three equations and you can work it out. But the things become easy if I use the current law also, first law it means. So I can take any one junction. I have taken the junction B, you may take any junction. Here if you see at this junction, I1 is entering, I2 is also entering and I3 is leaving. So current entering, they are equals to the current leaving. So I3 you may write it as equals to I1 plus I2 and you may call it as equation number 1. Now if you are applying the KVL rule, voltage rule on this loop, this is A, B, E, F, A. Then again you can see here, you may start from anywhere. Like if you want to start from here, then of course it will be plus 12 minus 5 I1 and then minus 2 I3, that is equals to 0. Or I have written it as minus 2 I3 plus 12 minus 5 I1 equals to 0. And you can write it as If you want to rearrange the equation, you can write 2i3 plus 5i1 equals to 12. Similarly, you can take this rule B, C, D, E, B, and then in this loop, if you see again, this is current is moving in this direction. Now I am moving in this direction. So if in place of negative, it will become positive sign. So 3i2 again minus 6 plus, here I am moving in this direction. Current is moving in the opposite direction. So with positive sign, you are getting 2i3 equals to 0. And you can rearrange, you are getting 2i3 plus 3i2 equals to 6. So these three equations are there. You have to work it out mathematically. How you want to work out the things, that is totally your choice. Now if you see, I have done by subtracting 2 and 3. Because I could see here 2i3 is there, here 2i3 is there. So if I subtract the things, these two will get cancelled. So if I am subtracting, I am getting 5i1 minus 3i2 equals to 12 minus 6 equals to 6. So this is I am getting by subtracting second and third equation. Then if I multiply by 2 to this equation, I am getting 10i1 minus 6i2 equals to 12. Similarly, if I put the value of i3 from first equation in this third equation, so I3 equals to I1 plus I2. So here if I am putting I1 plus I2, then 2I2 plus 3I2 will becomes 5I2 and this 2I1 will remain. So I am getting 2I1 plus 5I2, that is equals to 6. And then if I multiply this equation by 5, I am getting minus this 10I1 plus 25I2 equals to 30. And if I subtract these two equations, this will get cancelled and I am getting minus of 31I2, which is equals to minus of 18. So I am getting, and this negative sign of course on both sides will get cancelled, and I am getting I2 equals to 18 upon 31 ampere. So this is one result I could get. Now you can put this value of I2 in any of the equation and then work out again, and then you can find I1 and I3 also by using simple mathematics. So these are the results I have given. You people can verify it yourself. So you can always try more questions on this. Today I am doing up to this. Keep things up to this. Thank you.